With everything that have happened recently, I thought this would be a great time to talk about pen names. The good, the bad, the personal. Hello, I'm Remilia. No, actually that's not right. Remilia is my pen name and the name I've chosen to use in the bookish community. If you don't know, we recently had a situation in the bookish community where someone hid behind multiple pen names and pretended to be something they're not. I'll leave a few links down below if you want to know more about the situation, because I think it's better to hear it from the people who were mostly affected instead of me. Anyways, afterwards, it's been this huge upswing of people demanding to know people's real names, which is understandable. A lot of people were hurt, but it also hurts the people who, for one reason or another, aren't comfortable sharing their real identities. And just because of one person's crappy behavior, I don't think pen names are a bad thing. I want to start by being open about the fact that I do go by a different name on other parts of the internet. I started to go by Koumori Scarlet a long time ago because it sounded better than Emily the Bat when I started to do more music things. The name also stuck around when I started to get on Tumblr and started in the writing community. So some of my older friends still refer to me as Koumori, or variations for my dearest ones. I will never deny that they're both my accounts, but I guess that it could kind of be confusing and seem like I'm trying to be multiple people. I just prefer keeping things kind of separate for my own sake. And the reason I used Koumori Scarlet is just kind of because, if you didn't already know, I'm kind of obsessed with bats and anime. I guess it's not that hard to tell. And Koumori is the Japanese word for bat. And the reason I used Scarlet was both to make it a bit more original, because other people were using just Koumori. And the name also comes from one of my, maybe not favorite video game characters, but one that resonates with me a lot for a lot of personal reasons. And that's Remilia Scarlet from the Touhou series of games. I guess you could also tell that if you knew about them, if you listened closely to the various arrangements of her theme song in these videos. Vad hände? This is also where Remilia comes from, because the use of Koumori Scarlet has been with me for quite some time, and during that time I have learned more about myself and kind of started to set future goals and have dreams. And I wanted to honor that. The name Remilia also stems from the name Emilia, which is where my legal name comes from as well. So it felt close enough, but also a bit of a new chapter. And I mean, who wouldn't want to share a name with a cool and cute vampire mistress who owns a mansion and wields a legendary spear from Norse mythology? The U in my pen name also stands for Ulla, which was my grandmother's name. It's also the name that I would have wanted as my middle name, and if I could change it, I would, but I'll spare you the rant of why that isn't possible and how Sweden sucks. My grandmother was very important to me. She was probably my favorite person, and I want to carry her with me somehow. It also seemed appropriate since she's the person who taught me to read at a very young age, and she was pretty much responsible for my reading obsession. It was very normal for me to receive a book on Christmas and continue to read it in the living room while the other were doing, I don't know, socializing Christmas stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to celebrate. Maybe that's why I don't know how to celebrate holidays, because I usually just read. She was also the person to introduce the concept of playing music, not just listening to it. I mean, she's influenced a lot of who I am today. And she's probably one of the people I feel the most need to make proud of me. So that way it kind of also works as motivation. As to Holm, it's my last name. That was disappointing, I guess. Anticlimactic. But that's it. It's nothing fancy, it's not an unusual name where I come from, but it's mine and I like it and I'm proud of it. Kind of carrying the most important people in my life with me in just my last name. The reason I decided to use a pen name instead of my real name for my books is quite simple. It looked better. My real name wouldn't look as good using only my initials, and that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Yeah, I did choose pen name for the aesthetic and vibes. But I know some of my friends have different reasons, like wanting to publish more sciencey stuff under their legal name, or writing in multiple genres, privacy, and so on. And some, like me, just doesn't feel like their real name matches their genre. I also know some people choose a pen name when their name is very native to their own area and would be hard to pronounce in different parts of the world. In the end, it's up to each person to decide if a pen name is for them or not, and no one should be forced to reveal their real identity if they're not comfortable with it. Especially not because of a few people's dirtbag... Oh, that's too kind. Trash pit... No, that was too good. Shitty. Plain and simple, just because of a few people's shitty behavior. I chose a pen name because it was the right decision for me, and I also recognize that I can choose to be open with it because I have the privilege to do so. Thank you so much for watching, have a great adventure, and I hope to see you in the next video.